Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Just thought I'd do something different, because it's been a while since we last did something like this. Yeah, I don't know if I want to wait first before I do the tier list thing. I was either thinking about doing Genshin today or Star Rail for tier list stuff, but yeah, I just thought I'd do something different. Hello, Dark. We could do both, actually, maybe. Alright, before we get started, I just want to grind some of my talents, because I haven't really been doing that much yet recently, so I also want to... I just want to do this first before we get this started. Yes, welcome, welcome, welcome. We could probably do a Star Rail tier list. Either one. Let me just put this poll up first before we do anything. Gundam anime? Ah, I see. Wait, did I check kindling? Okay, because that's the one I need to do for today. Let me also tell people that are just coming in to check chat as well, or check the poll. Alright, let me quickly do that. If I put Claire not in S tier, you have to pay for your Hyacine pulls? Oh well. I'm not pulling for Hyacine anyways, so... I was thinking about doing a Genshin tier list today, because like, I don't know, I feel like there's just been so much more going on right now. Like, ever since the last time I did Genshin as well. Because I think the last time I did it was like, in the middle, like, early Sumeru. Like, around the time that Xianyun came out. It's really been a minute. I completely forgot you're a big Ember enjoyer. I completely forgot. Alright, let me level these up first. Because I also need to... I also need, what was I gonna say? I need to grind some materials for Xilonen as well. Because I haven't been able to max her out just yet. But anyways, how is everyone doing today?
Have you ever pulled on someone else's account?
On Genshin HSR? Because I've done it on Genshin before. But not... remember doing it once for someone to get Sino. But not a Star Rail. Why do you ask? I mean, I'd be interested if you want to offer. Yeah. Honestly, I've not really been doing much, because I finished school recently. My 4th semester in university, and I am probably graduating soon. So honestly, what I'm doing right now during my downtime is I'm just trying to apply for work, but I really don't have anything else much going on right now as well.
Just curious because I know a lot of Gotcha kids do that.
Yeah, I have done it once before. But I'm not gonna like ask someone if they want to do it. I'm only gonna do it if they want to reach out, because it's their information.
Privacy concern too.
Alright, finish all that stuff, okay. I need world materials as well. Ascension materials. I already got all the boss materials. Now I just need this. Are these available? No, they're not. Man. Preventing S from on sub. The only reason why if I would put S in for him is if there's like a new endgame mode like Pure Fiction, bro. But we just don't have that right now. Oh wait, shit. Oh, wait, what am I doing? Oh, I kind of goofed a little.
Taking a break from classes till fall. To get jobs funding your gotcha. Economy stuff. I'm gonna save up.
Yeah, I feel that. I don't know. Maybe in like a year from now, I'll probably just apply it to teachers college. But I also gotta like get experience like working with kids or working with kids, because I have volunteered before, and last year I did work in a water park. So I have experience working with kids before. I have also did like a bit of tutoring as well. Back when I was in high school. What's up, Paul? Looks like it's favored towards get HSR right now. Let me see if I can also ask anyone if I can if I can get some of the resources. No, no one's online right now. Okay, I also need to get some of these materials. Is that enough?
Let's rest here for a minute.
Okay, it's enough to like level her up, but I still need more for talents. Need 4 of those, and then I need 16 additional, so I need 20 purples. Of the purple stuff. Okay. Portable waypoints? Yeah, there are. There's always have been, since like the early days of Genshin. I'm pretty sure it's been there since like day 1 actually. Since like when the game first came out. I think that was like one of the earliest features they've added. But you have to do Mondstadt reputation, which takes a while. It takes like a few weeks to do actually. Where did I even put the portable waypoint? Put it somewhere, like when I was doing daily, or when I was exploring. Oh, it was for the local legend here. Right here. Yeah, I think that's it. Alright, let me see if I can find an HSR poll real quick, actually. Oh, this is only up until Sunday, so there's no Ampharius characters. $45. That's only up until Embarbador Lune. I can't find a tier list where it's like for all Star Rail characters. This one is only up until Sunday. Oh, here we go. This one has... Oh, it's up until Cypher. Okay. Oh, it's a 50-50 for Genshin and Star Rail now. You know, since we're doing Genshin, since we're doing Genshin today, I think... Yeah, I think I'll do a Genshin tier list. When I'm playing Star Rail again, still worth it for playing Genshin 2025? I mean, that's up to you, bro, if you enjoy it. I only say it's worth playing Genshin if you enjoy it. I mean, I personally still do. I think it's still fun. Mainly for the exploration, but that's pretty much it. Oh, and the combat. I like the combat too.
Is the ability to not get lost some sort of talent?
Last played on my Wika banner, then retired. I feel that. I have a friend that did that too. I mean, nothing really significant happened. I heard that they're gonna add a new endgame update soon. Or so leaks have been going around. But I play both Star Rail and Genshin still. I don't play ZZZ because I can't be bothered to play a third gacha game. I can only handle 2. Yo, Rizio, what's up, bro? It's been a minute. Still playing Genshin? Yeah. I play Star Rail still. Alright, I do have either or, so, let me pull this up. So, for the tier list, this is the Star Rail tier list we got. And then we also got a Genshin one right here. So, what's the poll looking like right now? Oh, it's saying Genshin. Okay. I mean, since I'm playing Genshin today, we can do Genshin. But the next time I play on Star Rail, we could do Star Rail. How about that? Because I feel like I'm more experienced with Genshin to actually qualify myself to actually make it. At least the chains shackled you for 4 years, now you're free. I feel that, bro. Yeah, I think I'm more qualified to actually do a Genshin tier list than Star Rail, but I could do Star Rail like when I'm playing Star Rail. Alright, but before we make a tier list, we continue the tier list, right? I think I want to add a few more tiers so that there isn't like so many characters in like one tier, because I feel like there's still a lot of characters in this game that are pretty viable. Should I quit? I mean, I can tell. I know. Alright. Before we continue, yeah, I just want to add like 1 or 2 more tiers. How do I do that? Oh, oops. Okay, so I just want to add an A plus and A minus. Because, like, these are the characters feel like that they're viable, but, like, they definitely are a lot on the weaker side of, like, being viable. Buy your first gaming laptop? Nice, bro. How much did it cost? Alright, let's get started. Shall we? Okay, so it looks like most people said Genshin. So yeah, we'll continue with Genshin first. What's a good middle ground character that I can put on the weaker side? Actually, I think it's gonna be so much easier if I put like people in the top tier. So honestly, I might add a new tier list or a new tier where you just like put S plus. Yeah, let's just do an S plus tier for like any exceptional characters. In your currency, 6,000. Oh, damn. Well, nice, bro. Congrats. I remember when I first bought bought all my PC parts, and then I assembled it. Yeah, it's much cheaper than actually building pre-built one though. All right, enough stalling. Let me actually make the tier list. Okay, first let's go with like some really obviously strong characters. I feel like most people can agree. Nivolet's up here. We can put Mavuika up here. Farina as well. I'm not gonna really particularly order it, but I might order it later. Still strong. Kazuha, for sure. Can't see him. Bennett, still pretty good. Who else? Where else? HP Victus. 4060, 8 gigabytes. 8 gigs RAM? Or like 8 gigs like for VRAM. Okay, oh, if I'm putting Kazuha up there, I'll put up Xilonen as well. Basically the same character. Seat Lolly, where's Seat Lolly? Can I not find Seat Lolly? Oh, there she is. $16 gigs of RAM. Ah, I got you. Nice. Honestly, I feel like with gaming nowadays, I feel like you need to have a 16 gigs of VRAM. All right, I feel like most people can agree on the top tiers, right? We can still we can go over it, like we can add more later as we go on. Oh, let me add one more actually. Another personal favorite of mine. Where is she? Here she is. Honestly, I might bump her down a little because like Mavuika has higher highs, but like Arlecchino, I feel like is like so much more versatile, so that's why I'm considering keeping her up there. What's a character you guys want to see first? We're not gonna do the two characters that are coming out soon, but we're gonna just. What do you guys want to see? What about a character that we feel like has fallen off? Someone that's fallen off. Oh, Ganyu. I feel like Ganyu's a good example. Yeah, Ganyu's just not that great right now, I guess, at the moment. Like, she's okay. It's just like she can work. Ayaka falling off? Yeah, we'll put. Oh yeah, Ayaka. That's true. Honestly, I think Ganyu and the whole Ganyu and Ayaka debate is kind of been pretty much resolved right now, because like for Freeze, you pretty much watch Ayaka. For Melt, Ganyu, like she just doesn't even feel great either, because you kind of want to play her in Freeze, but Ayaka is still better in Freeze. But like since Freeze is just like not so viable anymore, I feel like it just makes sense to like bump down Ganyu because like she just doesn't feel great to play at all. And, like we don't really have any like freeze buffers coming out unless like through leaks we have this character coming out. Apparently she's gonna be pretty good for freeze, and Skirk might be pretty good, so you could probably use like sub DPS freeze Ganyu as well.
Tried using Shenhe, Farina, Charlotte, Ayaka for bottom half for bis 12. It was terrible.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, freeze is just not great. So I'm honestly tempted to put Ayaka in either A minus or B. A minus or B, honestly, because like Ayaka, like she's just so burst reliant, and I don't think I'm really that big of a fan of like that kind of playstyle. Like I've never really enjoyed her playstyle, and I think she just relies too much on energy, and if you don't have enough energy to actually do it, and when you actually get to use your burst, like the boss enemies most of the time they just run out, and since Abyss just has so many boss enemies nowadays, compared to like small mobs where you could just like group them together and like delete them all with Ayaka's ult, it's just like not that many characters nowadays that can do that, right? So I think this is kind of fair. I personally think this is fair, right? Also, I can't help but notice that we already have like 3 Netline characters in here. There's 3 Fontaine characters, 3 Netland, and like 2 OG characters. Well, one of them's OG, and then like one is the 1.x series. Let's put some bottom tiers actually. Oh yeah, let me add another tier for bottom tier. Oh shoot, I accidentally deleted it. I didn't see that message, Dark. Oh, you deleted it. Oh, lucky you. Lucky I didn't get to see that. Alright, what are we gonna name this tier? You know, let's go with, like, old classic, Aloy tier. Let's just go Aloy tier. And while we're at it, let's just actually put some characters down there. Where is she? Obviously her. Xianyun. You know, I feel like Dea, she's not... When she first came out, she was so bad. She's still pretty bad. But, like, she has some uses now. Being an off-field pyro applicator. She has some use. Because, like, we have Kinich now. We have Emily. And, some Virgin teams, it's okay to have Dea. So I think it's okay. Maybe you can bump her up to C if we're being generous. But, like, she just kind of is, like... why would you use her over anyone else, right? Why would you use her over Shangling? I might bump her up, because I feel like the defensive utility is getting there. Why is Ganyu lower? Because she just doesn't feel that good either. The bow charging playstyle just isn't... It's too slow. And since since you can't really play her in freeze anymore, because bosses just can't get frozen, and you can still play her in melt, but like melt, there's just like better options, right? What else can we do? You know, now that we mentioned that freeze has fallen off, what's a character we can talk about? Oh, Kokomi. You know, I still think Kokomi's a good character. Like, even though freeze is not that great, she still has uses outside of it. So I wouldn't say, like, S tier. We could probably bump her up. I feel like we can bump her up. But, there's just, like, much better pyro or hydro applicators now. Because we got Farina, we got Neuvillette. We still have Xingqiu, we still got Yelan, right? yeah, since Kokomi's Hydra application just isn't as strong, or like, it's not as fast as we want it to be, I feel like it makes sense that we can bump her down a little. But she is still really good, I will say. It's just like she's kind of a little outdated by like some of the newer characters. Like good wide spread Hydra application. It's good for freeze when freezes can work, and she is good outside of freeze. So I think A+ is a fair place to put Kokomi, right? I feel like it's fair. Okay. Who next? Let's add some like low tiers, shall we? Low tiers. Dory. Candace, I feel like is fine. Fremine, why would you play him? Lynette's just kind of weak as well. Hazo, just whatever. I mean, he can be used in VV. He's okay. Mika has some use. We can put him right here. Toma, I feel like Toma's okay. Like a little better than Dea, so we'll just put him in like low B, cause like the shield, I feel like it has been getting some use. Like even still in Burgeon, like he's still seeing some use. Is it better than Dea? Probably not. But I feel like his shield is like a lot better at protecting than compared to like Dea's defensive utility. Because like I feel like if you run Dea, you want a second sustained character, but like compared to like Toma, you have like a stronger like a somewhat decently strong shield, so like you can get away without using another sustain. So I feel like Toma is okay in B tier. I don't know, it feels weird putting Ganyu and Toma in the same tier. It just feels weird. Okay, where else? Sayu is just kind of in the same category as Lynette, in my opinion. Kale is okay. Oh, what if we put the Travelers? Honestly, most of the Travelers are just kind of mids. I'll ignore them for now. Razor, we can. Yeah, Razor's just kind of outlived. Just way too outdated right now. Chi-Chi, same thing. Kachina, she can use Scroll, so she has a little bit of use, I guess. But like, I wouldn't say as much use compared to like everyone else here. Do you guys pick a character? Let me put this in the poll. Let me put this in the thing here. Okay. Just a reminder for if anyone's here watching, just take a look. If you guys think someone's like not in the right place, you can put you can just say in chat who you want to see. Wherever you want to see next. Okay, let's put some more. Kave is just kind of whatever. I mean, yeah, Kave, I just put him down here. Diana, I feel like is like an okay B tier. She has decent power application, elemental mastery, shield. She has decent util, but it's like you wouldn't use her over anyone else, like Xilonen. Amber, we're gonna put down here. Let me bump up Chi-Chi a little. I mean, she does have a little bit of use. Like, she has good healing. Like, I mean, you could probably use it with Farina, Hyper Bloom, but that's about it. That's just like more of a meme team. Xianyun. I mean, you could do some like weird gimmicky stuff with Shenhe, but that's about it. And unsubscribed. Rosaria, we're gonna put her in the middle. And since Rosaria's there, we can also put Kaya. Oh yeah, do we want to assume 4 stars are C6 and 5 stars are C0? Are you guys okay with that assumption? Do you guys want to do that assumption? I feel like that's fair. Okay. I think that's a okay for now. You don't really want to use Layla all that much. Actually, no, I think this is okay. Because, like, Layla has some defensive utility. But, like, yeah, she has some cryo application. Like, it's okay. Like, she has a little more defensive utility compared to, like, Rosaria Kaya. But it's not, like, enough compared to, like, whatever Xilonen provides. Like, Xilonen is probably our first actual, like, melt enabler that we actually have. Okay, let's put D-Luke in C. I think D-Luke in C is fair. Actually, maybe the bottom of B minus. Bottom of B. Because, melt does kind of work. The plunge melt D-Luke kind of is kind of nice, actually. But that's literally about it, though. And he does so happen to have the highest plunge multiplier in the game. When you use it with a C6 Bennett as well. Okay, I'm gonna put Yoimiya B. She has fallen off. There's like just so many other better cryo characters. I like Yoimiya, but oh my gosh, yeah, it's just not enough. She's kind of so outdated. I honestly feel like they should buff her to make her like an AoE character, and that would make her so much better. Like, give the fireworks character like an AoE build, you know, an AoE kit update. I feel like that would be great. Okay, who else? Yanfei. Actually, it's kind of weird that we put Patoma up here. I'm bumping down a little. Yanfei, I feel like is kind of. I mean, you can use her as a shield at C4, C6. I can't remember. I think it's at C4. C4 Yanfei, you can use that as a shield there. But why would you use her as a shield there when we have so many other shielders? You know. What's a character I have in mind? Oh, Sijuin? Oh, where do we put Sijuin? You know, we'll get to that later. I'm gonna put Venti in A. Venti's a good character. He's still technically the best at what he does, but what he does best is like not really in the game that much. Like there is since Venti's banner is happening right now, I do recall like on floor 11 that they've put like 60 enemies onto one floor, which is, like totally caught me off guard, and like I almost was not able to complete floor 11 just because of like that fact alone, like 60 enemies being on the field. If Genshin ever does that, then I feel like Venti we could definitely move up. But since we don't really have that in the game right now, I feel like it's kind of fair if we just kind of leave it like that, you know? Like, he's still technically the best at what he does. But what he does is, like, not really in the game right now. I feel like they should kind of adjust his kit as well, because, like, he is an Archon. The first Archon in the game, mind you, but still. Let's add someone in the S tier. Actually, wait, hold up. I kind of want to add Nahida at the top of S+, because she is still, like, the best Dendro character. But, like, Dendro has been seeing, like, less and less use, but I still think she's, like, the best Dendro character, for sure. Can't believe I forgot to put Nahida up there. Yeah, I'll just keep Nahida up there. She's probably like the second best Archon, in my opinion. Okay, who else? S tier. Who's S worthy? Let's say Yelan Xingqiu. I feel like this is kind of self-explanatory. Like, they have good utility. Yelan has better damage. Xingqiu has more defensive utility. Like, you can kind of, like, intertwine them between, like, who you want to use. If you need a bow, you can use Yelan. If you want more defensive utility, you got Xingqiu. But, like, I think Farina offers enough Hydro application where you can just kind of replace either of them. Because, like, these two are just, like, very single-target focused when it comes to Hydro application. More so Yelan than Xingqiu. But Farina, she works in single target, but also like somewhat in multi-target, which makes her so much better, in my opinion. And she offers a Hydra damage boost. She has so much more utility, which is kind of why I think it makes sense to put Xingqiu and Yelan like a little lower than Farina. Who's A worthy? A character, A tier worthy. Child, actually. I think Child's okay. And since Child's there, let's also put Ayato. Yeah, I feel like this makes sense. I feel like this is fair. I feel like Ayato has more longevity than his sister. I feel like this is fair. Shenhe. Her gimmick is okay. Like, you can do some weird stuff with Chongyun. But Cryo's just kind of weak right now. I still think Cryo's like kind of whatever-ish. Until they actually give like a really good Cryo character, maybe Escoffier, I don't know, whatever how her name is pronounced. Maybe she'll bring her back. Yeah, I can see it. Like, I've heard that she's gonna be really good. If she has very good synergy with Ayaka, Shenhe, then possibly we could probably see like a rise in like these characters again. Kokomi as well. If Freeze makes a comeback. What What else can we do? Let's put Wanderer. Wanderer is, he works, just not really like the best. Like he's okay. I used to hate on him so much, I still do, but I think he's okay. Compared to like a stronger option, Chaska. Chaska just like straight up an upgrade. I think Chaska's just better than Wanderer in like every way. They basically do the same thing, but Chaska just has more damage. She's still like very single target limited, and Wanderer, like, he is also single target limited, but his burst also has some AoE. But I think it's fair to put Chaska there. Top is a little uncrowded, so I'm gonna put more characters up there. Fischl, I feel like it's fair to put S. Fischl's really good. Very good an Electro Enabler. Sub DPS as well. Good energy generation. Good damage uptime. There's not really much wrong you can go with her, other than like she's only limited to Electro comps, which, yeah. Electro comps probably aren't like the meta right now, but it's like really strong still. Oh, who else can we put? Yunjin. Probably low, or probably like mid B. Normal attacking is just kind of niche. The only character that's really strong right now that can use it is Arlecchino. But why would you use Yunjin over like, I don't know, like Xilonen, Lali, Xingqiu Yilan, Bennett even? There's not really a point, because like her stacking mechanic is kind of limited as well. Who else is kinda A tier? I think Nilo is. I feel like being limited to Dendro and Hydra only kind of hinders her, especially when a character like Auroron. I don't know how strong Auroron is, but I've heard that Auroron's actually pretty strong right now, because he can also use Scroll. I feel like it's just kind of like the quality of life thing, where it's like she has a limitation factor like Chevy, but like Chevy's niche is actually so much better, because it actually makes Overload teams like super viable. And like Overload teams have been seeing so much more use, because like there are way less enemies in Abyss right now when it comes to like grouping, and like the biggest thing that pushes people away from actually using Overload is the fact that it knocks small mobs away. But like since we're just seeing like so many bosses, I feel like it's just kind of fair to put Chevy in like a pretty high S, especially at C6. Who else? Let's put Ningguang like kinda. Yeah, Ningguang's just kinda outdated. We'll just put her there while we're at it. You know who's just also a solid character? I feel like, Lanyon's alright. Lanyon's fine. Animo Shielder can use VV. Has actually a pretty strong shield actually. I don't know if she has good uptime though. If she has good uptime, then I feel like she can go up a little bit. But I think she's pretty good as a 4-star. Not like anything like incredibly crazy, but I think she works. Where's Zhongli? Let's put him in S. Not like S plus, but I think S is fine. I feel like this is fine. Just a solid shielder. Can't go really wrong with that. Beidou. Dude, I feel like Beto is so overlooked because like the electro characters we have been getting so much better. But Beto's utility, I feel like is pretty good. Like she does good damage, even though it's only limited to like two targets where it shines the most. She has like she has defensive utility too, which I feel like is way too overlooked for how good it is. Yeah, I feel like this is fair. I feel like Beto in like A- is fine. Ooh, you know a character I really want to see up here? Navia. Navia's still like really good. I think Navia is like very slept on. Even though like, well, I wouldn't say slept on, but like, yeah, she's just a really good character. So like she's actually one of the few Geo characters actually that are actually really good. Still. I think Albedo's okay in B tier. Albedo's okay in B tier. I think Chiori being a strict upgrade is fair. Actually, is Albedo is around the same strength as Chiori? I think Chiori and Albedo. Last time I heard, Chiori is like pretty much an upgrade to Albedo, but it's like not that big of an upgrade. I don't know how much of an upgrade it is. Uh, yeah, you know, we'll bump him up a little. Maybe like in the lower end. We'll probably bump up Chiori to like a little higher. Yeah, I think Albedo is just kind of not as great as Chiori. Like Chiori works as an off-field applicator. Pretty much a strict upgrade over Albedo. Especially since like Albedo's thing can get easily destroyed by a lot of mechanics. I feel like it makes sense if you put Chiori up above. She's just like a bigger quality of life update compared to Albedo. Who's another strong character that we can put in A? I think Yamiko's fine in A. Yeah, Yamiko's fine in there. We could probably bump her up to A+, because I still think Yamiko's like pretty viable. I think Hu Tao can go up in A. I think Hu Tao's fine in A. She's like still decently strong. It's just like she doesn't hit as hard compared to like obviously Mavuika, obviously as Arlecchino, but she still like hits okayishly hard. And she does have a Xianyun as well, which can make her a little bit more competitive. Speaking of Xianyun, actually, yeah, let's put her up here. She makes so many fun comps. She's just like, oh my gosh, she's such a fun unit. And she's so good as well. Compared to who else? Let's say Jean. I think Jean, like, she has potential to be good, but like, since there's just like so many healers that are like much better than her, why even, right? I don't think there's really much of a point to using Jean over like Xianyun. There's no point using her over Xilonen, Kokomi, or Kuki, Bennett. Even in like Escoffier, I think Escoffier is going to be like a healer as well. A healer and a DPS character, I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah, I think this is fair. Eula we're also going to put in like right here. I feel like this is fair. Physical just hasn't really been getting anything much. And she just has so many quality of life problems that I feel like can get in the way a lot of the time. Sino we're gonna also put, like, right here. Since Sino is also there, let's put Kaching here while we're at it. We could probably put her, like, lower or higher, depending on how we feel. Okay, oh yeah, let's put some more characters up down here. Lisa could probably be around. I feel like it makes sense if you put Kachina like a little higher because Scroll's pretty good. Scroll's pretty useful. Lisa, I feel like this is a fair place for her. Sara, I also kind of want to put here because, like, why would you use Sara over anyone else for Raiden? You got Farina now. We got Kazuha. We got Xilonen. We got Bennett still. There's no really any rhyme or reason to use Sara over anyone else over that. For Hypercarry Raiden. Speaking of Raiden, yeah, Raiden definitely got power crept for sure. Like, she's definitely not like the biggest nuker, the biggest like nuke character anymore. Like, that title definitely goes to Mavuika. Mainly because, like, Pyro is, like, a much better DPS nuke element compared to Electro. But her util is still, like, pretty good. So I feel like she's still, like, fine in A+. Like, if there's ever a potential where, like, Electro becomes, like, really strong, or, like, maybe if she gets a buff, because, like, if Starl buffs characters, and we've seen, like, Genshin buff characters before, like, adjust their kits, but, like, we've seen that with Zhongli getting his kit buff, and, like, Miko getting her yeah, Miko, we've seen her kit get adjusted, like, back and forth, so it's possible that they can buff a character. We've seen it done before, and they might do it, possibly. It's kind of cope, but, like, since Starl announced buffs for characters, Genshin could do it too, possibly. It's probably easier to do it in, like, an RP, like, since it's turn-based for Starl, but I think it's as fair. I feel like it makes sense if, like, Raiden was here. Like, she's a good character, it's just, like, there are better characters. Charlotte, we could put in B. Pretty much around the same. The only reason why I'd use her is like in Farina, but, like, there's still better options for Farina. Yao I feel like is okay in A. I feel like she's fine. Oh yeah, she is a healer too. Like, she does work in Nilo Bloom, but, like, Nilo Bloom isn't that strong, so I think this is fair. Shangling. Yeah, she's definitely, like, seeing much less playtime now since Mavuika's in the game. Like, she's still a strong unit. She's still a really strong unit, I'd say. Yeah, I feel like this is fair. Like, if you don't have Mavuika, you could still go Shangling and still, like, vaporize, melt stuff. I feel like this is okay. Where else? What else? Okay, yeah, Goro doesn't really see much use. Yeah, so we're gonna put him right next to Sara. Because, like, actually no, I think the thing about Goro is, like, he's still technically the best in slot, or one of the best. Actually no, actually not even. Yeah, never mind, we're bumping it down still. Because, like, for Ito, he works with Ito, But like we now have Farina, we have Bennett still, we have Chiori as well. Yeah, yeah, just like there are better things you can do for Ito. And Noelle as well. Yeah, I think that's fair. Sucrose is pretty strong. I'll put her up here. Maybe up here, honestly. Because I feel like a lot of people overlook like how good she is. Kirara... Kirara's okay. A decently strong Dendro Shield. Decent Dendro application. You can use her in like Aggravate, so... Yeah, she's okay. But like, we also have a better Dendro Shielder anyways, which I guess we could talk about here right now. Baiju, yeah. I feel like this is pretty good. This is like a good place to put him. I still think Nahida's better, even though he is seeing like somewhat more use now, because like Farina, like, and he synergizes so well with Farina, being a Dendro Shielder. I feel like this is fine. I think that gives him like a bump up over Zhongli, because like you can use him in Dendro teams, you can use him in Farina teams. Yeah, I feel like this is fair. Fair place for Baiju. Mona, yeah, there's really not much purpose that you use Mona anymore. But I feel like Mona is okay. You know, now that I'm seeing a lot of characters over here, I feel like it's kind of fair if we... Oh, you're not really seeing Yunjin being used all that much. So, I feel like we can bump her down a little. Oh, Tainari. I think Tainari is probably like the best out of standard characters right now. Still to this day. I feel like Tainari, yeah. Yeah, he's an okay DPS. Like, very single target limited though. But he's still decently strong. Let's do one of the newer characters, actually. Ooh, the whole Mualani versus Neuvillette debate. Honestly, I know people say Mualani's good. Like, she's the only forward vape character that we have. But I feel like there's just so many quality of life things going on with her that I don't like. Like, she's still better than your average DPS, that's for sure. But I don't think she's like a top 5 DPS still. Yeah, I feel like this is fair for Mualani. Like, she does have big nuke damage for Hydro. She's our only like forward vaporized character that we've ever Hydro character that we ever had. And yeah, I just like she's a good character. It's just like she's just so limited, I feel. Yeah, I think this is okay. Let's put Ito in A-. Ito's okay. Like, he can be used if you have the resources for him. But even if you have the resources for him, he's still like not that strong, or not as strong compared to like the other Geo characters that are higher on this list. Because like obviously he's definitely not as strong as Navia, and he is nowhere near as close as Util as like Xilonen. So, yeah, I think this is okay. Rise Lee, I feel like has the potential to be better. Well, he is better than Ayaka, in my opinion. He's better than Ayaka in like a lot of ways because he's not energy reliant. Like his burst is just, it's nice if you have it, but it's not the end of the world if you don't have it. So I think this is okay. I think this is fair. And he's probably gonna get better with Escoffier anyways. You know who's been on the rise recently? Gaming. With Seat Lolly, Xianyun having a rerun recently too. Farina. Yeah, Gaming is actually, I feel like, is pretty strong for like, especially as like, he's probably the best 4-star hyper carry that we have. I really don't know who would be next. Oh, we have Chevy to work as well. So like, Gaming is pretty strong. Linny. I think Linny is. I think he's around the same as Hu Tao. Slightly better, probably, but I still think he's like around the same. Sathos I don't really know much about, but I feel like Sathos has potential to be good. But I don't really know much about him, so I'm gonna put him like around the same as like Kiching and Sino. Okay, we're getting closer to like the lower few. Let's choose a character I really like. Alhaitham, I think he's still really good. Alhaitham is still really strong. Not as much burst damage as Navia, but he's like his consistent DPS is much higher. And I still find myself having much faster clear or much better clear times with an Alhaitham team compared to a Navia team, personally. Also, like Kanich. I feel like Kanich and Alhaitham are like interchangeable. Doesn't have like compared to like Mualani and other Natlan DPS. I feel like his quality of life is just much better. He feels much smoother to play because of how mobile he is, and he just feels more consistent as well. Like he doesn't feel asked to play. I'm not gonna lie, and he's much more flexible as well. I feel. Janssen. I think Janssen has the potential to be pretty good. For what I've heard. He works well with Alhaitham, Kanich, Xiao, Mavwika. Yeah, she's just a pretty strong support, I feel. Works in a lot of teams. Sijuin, I feel like we can bump her. I'm pretty sure Sijuin's pretty ass. She's probably like the lowest limited character that we're ever gonna see here. Emily, we could put in A tier. Really good for Kanich. Decent burning sub, a pretty good decent burning sub DPS. I don't know like many problems about her, but like I feel like she's easy to build. It's just like you have to use her in a burning because like she just has no use outside of it. Oh, one of the few Dendro set users that can be used for Kanich as well, like Dendro Shred set users that can be used for Kanich. I feel like this is okay. I feel like this is fair. Or Deepwood. That's the name of the set, yeah. Deepwood. But she is a little niche, though. I don't know how much damage she does compared to, like, a lot of the other sub DPS, so I'll bump her down a little. Burning is just kind of like a niche character that only really Kanichi can use. Oh yeah, you guys can feel free to let me know your thoughts in the chat below as well. Let's go with Kuki. Yeah, she's good. I just, I feel like the whole Kuki and Raiden debate for Hyper Bloom is that I'm just starting to see myself like starting to despise Kuki more and more every time I use her in Hyper Bloom, because like since I'm starting to use Alhaitham with Farina, my team is constantly at like half HP trying to get like Farina stacks for her fanfare. And like since Kuki, whenever you use her skill, her health just depletes by so much and adds up over time. It's just so much frustrating to use her, and it's just like so annoying. But like Hyper Bloom is still like really strong, but like Raiden is just so much safer to use. But like Raiden doesn't work with Farina is the thing when it comes to Alhaitham or like any Hyper Bloom team. Or Quicken even. A Quick Bloom, I guess we can say. I feel like this is okay. I feel like that's fair. I've been saying that word a lot, I know. Auroron? Auroron's pretty strong. Scroll set user. Taser's pretty strong. You don't even have to use him in Taser. He's not limited to Taser. Yeah, he just works everywhere. It's just Fischl's better, honestly. You can use him in a Chevy team as well with a Varesa. Let's round up the Electro users actually. Chlorand is pretty good. Chlorand's pretty good. Varesa is better, unfortunately. Or Varesa, I'm pretty sure, is better. So we're going to put Varesa like around here. This is not really particularly ordered. But yeah, Varesa's pretty good. From what I've seen. Oh, Mizuki. Ugh. Mizuki is like right here, in my personal opinion. Like she just feels asked to play. On-fielder, but like you can't even do anything with her on-fielder when you use her ult, pretty sure. She can use VV. Swirl damage is there, but why would you use her over Sucrose? I mean, you can probably use her with Farina, but like, eh. Alright. Last but not least, Farazan, we're gonna put it like around the same boat as Lanyan. Even though like they do completely two different things. Farazan, her effect at C6 is so good for Wanderer and for Xiao that it makes Xiao and Wanderer like so much more viable. Like the util that she provides, like she gives so much energy, she gives so much animo damage, she gives animo damage crit bonus, and she shreds animo damage. Like, she just does so much. The only reason why she's going to be an A tier is because, like, only 2 characters can really use it. So. Yeah. I don't know if you'd use her for Chaska either, but I'm pretty sure you wouldn't. But yeah, anyways, Xiao? Oh my gosh. I feel like people are going to hate me for saying this, but I think Xiao low-key S tier, bro. Low-key. Like, he's one of the only 1.0 characters that can still compete to this day with, like, a lot of the newer DPS. He has Farina, he has Xianyun, he has C6 Farazan. Like, this man has been getting buffed so many times ever since 1.0, and he's still able to compete. Like, no bias here whatsoever. Like, Xiao, still undoubtedly, like, one of my favorite characters, but this man has stood the test of time for so long. It's just, like, so impressive to me that, like, he's able to compete with the likes of, like, even Neuvillette. Like, he can compete with Arlecchino. He can compete, maybe not Arlecchino, but I think that's stretching it a little too much. He has a new stronger set too. That's true. Also, hello Sork. But this man has been he's stood against the. Oh my god, it's like reverse power creep. Like, he's just gotten so much better over time. Like, it's just crazy. Like, he was still strong back then. He's like he was like okay in like during Inazuma, and okay like in Sumeru, until Farazan released. Farazan is like a whole different story. Is tier list based on how good the characters are in the meta? Yes, that would be correct. How strong they are. Based on my personal opinion. And, like, there's some, like, biases here, obviously. But I don't, because, like, there's still some characters, like, I don't know how they completely work. But I'm trying to be as fair as I possibly can.
Thought Versa is stronger than Xiao?
Yeah, possibly. I think Xiao is still, like, very, very strong. I don't know much about Veresa, but I'd imagine that there'd be much more flexibility since Veresa's Electro and Xiao's Animo. But, like, Xiao just works so well with Farina. It's crazy. Like, Farazan just also provides so much. Xianyun does so much as well, and synergizes with Farina, that I feel like Veresa, she has more options, but Xiao's highest high, like, his peak performance, I feel like is higher than Veresa, or can be higher than Veresa. But since Veresa is just much more flexibility, I value flexibility much more than, like, the highest peak. I put Veresa, like, a little higher, or a bit higher than Xiao. Like, no biases aside, I feel like Veresa, like, definitely, she can perform better than Xiao, but I think Xiao has the higher highs. It's kind of like the same thing with, like, Arlecchino as well. Arlecchino versus Mavuika for DPS. Mavuika has, like, a higher ceiling, in my personal opinion, but you have to have, like, Xilonen and Citlali for that to be possible. And, like, these two are, like, both limited 5 stars. Whereas, like, Arlecchino, you can use her with Chevreuse. You can use her with Xingqiu Yulan. Like, Mavuika can do that too, but Arlecchino just works so much better with these guys.
Personally would have tiers differentiating characters who have a niche buff. Shanghai Yunjin versus characters who are universal units.
That's fair, but, like, I feel like characters like this, you definitely don't even see them as much more often, because we're starting to see so many characters outside of their niche that do better than characters in their niche, if that makes sense. Like, let's say Farina, for example, right? Her buff is just so universally good that you'd use her over Goro in an Ito team. You'd use her over Raiden. You would use her over Sara in a Raiden team. Same thing with Yunjin as well. Mika for a physical team.
I'm not super knowledgeable in the meta, so I feel to disregard if I said anything correct.
I don't think you're necessarily wrong. I feel like that's a fair argument, but, like, more often than not, you're not going to use these niche characters because they're just so, like, character specific that like, why would you use these characters over like any of the stronger, more flexible characters, if you know what I mean? Like, yes, they are good in like that specific niche, but you have better options, if that makes sense. I'm definitely open to like making adjustments as well. I'm definitely very open to making adjustments. I'm also open to like any feedback for this tier list, because this is pretty much all I have for now. I feel like the top tiers can be universally agreed upon. Maybe you could bump Fischl up, or like any characters from up here to S plus. I mean, the meta is obviously changing constantly. It changes a lot. Because we're probably going to be going into a freeze meta with Escoffier. Escoffier, I don't know how to pronounce her name. And with Skirk being rumored to be like a freeze unit, we could be moving into like a possible freeze meta with like sorry, what's the word? With like more freeze oriented content being around the corner. It's very much possible that we can see like Shenhe move up with like crowd characters becoming stronger. Kokomi as well, because like Kokomi synergizes in freeze much better than Xingqiu and Yelan. But probably not as much compared to like Furina. Furina's solo like pretty much better than Kokomi in most ways. If you have like more Hydra characters that can somehow like compete with Neuvillette. Because like ever since like Neuvillette came out, Ayato and Child have just been kind of hitting the gutter. Like you just don't see them as much very often. I'm not really gonna look into like the rest of these guys, because like these two aren't out, and like there aren't even enough Traveler icons for me to represent the 5 different elements. Is it 5? We have Anemo, Geo, Electro, Dendro, Hydro, okay, no, it's 6. Okay.
Xianyun at the bottom.
Yeah, they're just kind of like whatever. I mean, most people probably don't even have Aloy at this point, so I feel like a lot of people just don't care. Xianyun is just like, yeah, this is just like a long running joke that I've had. Yeah, I feel like, back to that topic of like niche characters. Farazan is like a very good example of it, because like Farazan you can really only use for Xiao and Wanderer. Maybe you could use it for DPS Venti and Xianyun. But since Xiao has made such a strong comeback, and the buff that she provides is super irreplaceable, it's just kind of hard to use her over anyone else when it comes to being an animal buffer, because like no one else can replace her what she provides at C6 at least. This is like 4 stars all at C6, by the way. All 4 stars are at C6, and like the 5 stars are at C0. Yeah, I definitely feel like this is... Personally, I feel like maybe the only thing that I feel like can be using adjustments is the bottom, but like I feel like a lot of people just don't really care about who's at the bottom, unless like you actually use these characters a lot. I mean, my bias is more towards like the people at the top.
Curious to why Beto's at A minus tier.
Do you think she's too low or she's too high? because I think she's okay being in the middle. Like, I think she's a good character, but the Electro characters above her are just so much better. Because, like, she's definitely not as good as Fischl, in my opinion. Because, like, Fischl just works in like, pretty much every Electro comp that you would imagine. What's up, Matt? I think Fischl, like, works pretty much in every Electro comp. Chlorand and Varessa are probably, like, the two best Electro DPS in the game right now. Probably leaning more towards Varessa, honestly, because she's just much newer and, like, she works in pretty much... She works even outside of Dendro comps, too. But, like, Chlorand is much stronger in Dendro comps, but, like, that's... Like, the peak of being strongest in Dendro comps is, like, much lower than Varessa's peak. Oh yeah, and Raiden as well. Raiden, Kuki, Auroron as well. Like, I feel like these characters have much more util than Beto. Like, Beto, the situation where she works really well in is if there's, like, only 2 targets to DPS, because that's where her ult does a lot of damage. But, like, even where it does a lot of damage, you could still probably use anything else over it, right? I've not tried a Chlorand Taser in a while. I don't have Auroron built either, but I know Auroron's pretty good because he works pretty well in Taser. You don't even have to use him in Taser either. And I've seen him using, like, Chevreuse teams with Mavuika. And Scroll Set is just also really good. Because it's just Natlan Viridescent, basically. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. But, like, it's the same reason with, like, Kachina as well. Like, why Kachina's so low. But, like, she's not, like, bottom. If she couldn't use Scroll, she'd be down here, honestly. But the reason why Auroran's so good is because, like, he has so much more utility. I'm not super knowledgeable in meta, but for me, Beto is very good unit. But her drawbacks is that her ult has very high ER requirements, plus not good without C2. Well, we're judging this based on C6. Is the first thing. So she is gonna have her C2. But I think about it, she's fine at where you placed her. Honestly, I completely forgot about the ER requirements thing too. But yeah, she does kind of need Fischl for any Electro Resonance, now that I think about it, for her to be, like, pretty strong. But she is better than, like, a good amount of the other Electro characters as well. Like, she's usable. It's just, like, I feel like it takes a lot more resources to make her work. Like, a lot of more of, like, the very, very strong resources to make her work. For every 4 stars at C6? That's fine. It happens. C6 or everything all combined. So, C6 4 stars, C0 5 stars. That's the assumption we're going to go on. As a Beto main, always pair her with Fischl. Keep in mind, A- tier is not a bad tier either. It's just, like, there have just been so many strong characters released recently. Or, like, for the past few years, there have just been so many strong characters. Like, when it comes to 4 stars, Beto is probably, like, among the stronger 4 stars, honestly. But keep in mind, like, most of these characters up here, they aren't even 4 stars. It just kind of goes to show, like, how strong the 5 stars have become over time. But I feel like when it comes to top tiers, like, the characters up here, oh, it's kind of weird that we put only 9 up here. I kind of do want to put a top 10 actually, so I'm gonna bump Fischl up, actually, because can't imagine a scene where you use her in an Electro comp, or any sort of electro comp, and Fischl isn't there. Maybe Aggravate with Al-Haytham. But she's still a good option though. Like she's still very usable in like a spread comp. Yeah, I feel like it's I like putting Fischl in like the top 10. I feel like this is fair. I feel like Farina, Neuvillette, Mavuika, Kazuha, Xilonen, Nahida, Bennett, Seatlali, Arlecchino, and Fischl. I feel like this is fair to put for top 10. What makes Auroron good? Taser is pretty strong still. I'm pretty sure his kit gives like a debuff. I might be wrong, but let me search this up. Genshin. What makes Auroron so strong? Because I know Scroll Set is pretty good, but I can't remember exactly what his kit does. His damage is pretty good in multi-target. His 4-piece scroll is like the biggest and most important part. Like the scroll set. What was it? What was it? But yeah, the main thing is like just scroll set just being so good. Because it's just basically like a 4-piece Viridescent, but for Natlan characters. Yeah, he works in a lot of electro comps too. And since Mavuika is also so strong, and like one of the conditions to actually get to use her ult is to consume Night Soul points, Auroron's like one of the few characters right now that can consume Natlan, or like his Night Soul points off field. So it just makes him so much more valuable for even Mavuika comps. If you want to use him like in a Chevy overload team, if you're free to play, because like you can't. Well, it was possible to get Auroron for free previously, like in this update. Not anymore, but for free to play players, it's very possible for you to use Auroron in a overload Mavuika team. You can use him in a Taser team. Like his damage is very respectable actually. He's probably like one of the few 4-stars recently that was actually like pretty strong. Like in a lot of electro comps, he just works really well. But for me, it's just like mainly the 4-piece scroll set what makes him so strong. And his damage is also somewhat respectable as well. Oh yes, his ult also has like a taunt effect too. Makes it help in AoE situations. Yeah, he's just really good. Try him out. Overload team. He's mainly really good in a Taser team, but he can work in Overload. But yeah, the main reason why you would use him is because 4-piece scroll is really good. I've been saying that a lot, but that's the big reason why. I feel like everyone can agree on the top tiers, right? Farina for the big universal damage bonus. Marushose is really also still really good. Good Hydra application. Personal damage is decent as well. And the huge damage bonus, I probably already said that, but yeah, it's still really good. Neuvillette, I feel like can kind of go without explanation. Just like the best Hydra DPS. Can be used hyper carry. Can be very flexible compared to Mavuika. And I value flexibility over anything else. Couldn't get Farina? That's unlucky. She'll rerun eventually. Like even in like Neuvillette, like even in a lot of like Neuvillette strong teams, you don't even need to have Farina. He just works so well. GG S tier, trust me. Yeah. What's up, Guppy? It's been a minute. Mavuika, very high ceiling, not much flexibility, but that high ceiling is just so competitive. Like it's just so ridiculously strong. Like how good she is, but without Xilonen and Xilonen, the rate of which she can use her ult and like how strong her ult can get kind of falls off a little. So it's just kind of like why I don't put her like at the top above Neuvillette, but like she's still like pretty strong. Kazuha, Xilonen, very strong characters. Red Shred, damage buff as well. Xilonen works in geo comps. Kazuha has higher personal damage and crowd control. Xilonen has healing. I feel like they're about the same, personally. And Nahida, best Dendro character still. Highest Dendro application. Good damage. Yeah, just not really much wrong you can go with using Nahida. Bennett, I think we all know what he does. Just huge attack boost. Good pyro battery as well. If you need to battery anyone else other than him. So like if you use him in a gumming team, he's really good with gumming. He works well with Arlecchino. He works well with Mavuika. There are just so many characters that really like having he just works really well with a lot of pyro characters. Xilonen work well with Noelle. I haven't seen many people use Noelle recently, but I'd imagine, yeah. I'd imagine like Xilonen works really well because she does shred Geo. You could probably use Xilonen with Farina, and who else would you use with Noelle? Maybe I don't remember if she scales with attack a little. Maybe Bennett. Because you need to have like two non-geo, two crystallizable elements in your team for Xilonen to get the geo resistance shred. Geo Traveler, Navia, Goro, I think. I feel like the main reason you would use Noelle is because like she's a defense somewhat scaling DPS, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, since Ito and Navia are a thing, I think Noelle is just kind of... She's not as great, but she does synergize better with Farina than Ito does with Farina. Because Noelle does heal, and her heal is like T-Mod as well, which makes the rate at which she heals so much better, because the rate at which you get Farina's damage buff just goes up much sooner, and you get it so much faster. Yeah, she... I mean, now that I think about it, I'll probably bump up Noelle a little. Maybe up to C tier. Above Xianyun. Actually, no. I'll put her on Kachina. Doesn't Noelle scale with defense? Yes, she does. But we don't really have many other defense scaling characters many characters that buff defense aside from Goro. But even so, you'd still want to use Farina over Goro. Farina, who else? I don't remember if she works with attack or not, because I just don't use Noelle. Honestly, I feel like this tier list is just kind of... I feel like it's well balanced, right? How do you guys feel about it? How do you guys feel? Do you guys think there are any characters that need adjusting? Because like, I feel like the last time I made a tier list, the biggest adjustment that I did have like a niche tier, but this is like years ago though. I did have a separate niche tier. But like the only reason why I don't have a niche tier is because like we're starting to shift away from using like the niche characters into more like generalistic like strong supports that I feel like we don't really need it, and we can just like kind of indicate whether a character is strong or not based off of that. And especially, it just feels wrong to put like Chevra's in a niche tier, even though she does only work in Overload. But like she makes Overload so good. Like she's the reason why Overload teams can be so good as they are right now. Like she's probably like the best free to play character by far, or 4 stars.
Sounds good from what I understand.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, I think she's strong where she is. The only thing I'm really concerned about is like the lower tiers. These are like really the only things I'm concerned about. 'Cause I feel like by far the worst limited character right now is probably Xianyun, because her healing kit is just so unbelievably ass. Realistically, and then we have like characters that just kind of fallen off. Yeah, like Eula, Ganyu, Yoimiya, Sino, kind of just fell off. Yeah. But all the characters like above, like A- tier and above, are just, I feel like they're viable, even today. Harajuku application is mid, yeah.
So I've heard. I feel like as free-to-play, Xianyun is just so versatile and valuable that in my opinion, she makes a place higher than S tier, like above Xiao at least.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. She's more flexible than Xiao. I'll give you that. Where else? Oh yeah, because Xiangling, she works well with Kinich, or somewhat well with Kinich. But outside of Mavuika, if you don't have Mavuika for Kinich. Yeah, Xiangling Vaporize is still pretty strong. If you don't have Mavuika for Mulan, Xiangling is your next best thing as well. And her damage is still pretty good. Especially like if you have her as a free to play character. Still a really strong Vaporize character. I don't know if you can use her at Melt because her pyro application is just too fast. Honestly, I've never seen anyone use Xiangling in a Melt team. With a Seat Lolly, at least. But yeah, Xiangling is fair to bump up a little.
As a free-to-play who just got back to the game, Yanfei is pretty good. Love playing Yanfei in an Overload team. Yeah, Yanfei is good, but there are just so many. She's okay in my opinion. Like she's okay, but there are just better pyro characters, respectfully. But yeah, she can work in an Overload setting, but The thing with Xiao is that he's very dependent on a team, sadly. Yes, but that team is just so strong, despite like how limited he is. Like yes, his best team right now as far as on Farina, Xianyun. That's by far his best team. But the fact that it can compete with Neuvillette, maybe like not really Mavuika, can compete with Arlecchino possibly, Fischl Aggravate, Alhaitham, Hyperbloom, Navia. The fact that Xiao can compete with that, despite being like a 1.0 character, just makes him like so much stronger. Like out of all the 1.0 DPS, or like even 1.0, 2.0, 3.0 DPS, Xiao has by far stood the test of time the best out of like any, well, at least like the 1.0 characters by far. Don't have better characters? Ooh, that's unfortunate. But yeah, but yeah, Yanfei, I mean, respectfully, she just doesn't really offer as much compared to like a lot of the other pyro characters, especially like Gaming as well. Gaming is like, personally, in my opinion, I think he is the better 4-star when it comes to being a pyro, or when it comes to being a DPS, because this kid, he just does so much damage. Like, he works well with I don't know about these two, but ever since Seat Lolly came out, Gaming is just like crazy now. Gaming melt is crazy. See one Gaming, but you don't know how to build him. He's a plunge DPS, so kind of like Xiao and Varessa. But you don't want to use the plunge set on him because it just doesn't. You can't get the full set on him, or the full effect on Gaming. So I think you still want to use like Crimson Witch. But since we're assuming C6, he's definitely so much stronger. Like it's honestly like kind of surprising like how good a DPS Gaming is compared, like especially since he's a 4-star, right? Like Seat Lolly was like the biggest buff that any pyro DPS characters would love to see. Like she is the big reason why on field melts DPS characters have seen like a big skyrocket. Like Seat Lolly was such a big buff for Arlecchino, such a big buff for Mavuika. She works well with Neuvillette as well, in like a freeze team. Neuvillette freeze with Farina and Kazuha, or maybe Xilonen, probably. But it just works so well. Seat Lolly just like, she's the best cryo character in my opinion, and I don't think it's even close. Excuse me. But yeah, personally, I just think Cryo's kind of weak, which is why like you don't really see many Cryo characters other than Seat Lolly, much in this higher range, because Cryo's just kind of flawed, especially if you don't use him in freeze. But like since Seat Lolly works outside of freeze, this is why you see her in like S plus. And scroll set is really good on her. Who are like the highest DPS characters on here? Like when it comes to main DPS. Okay, so like there's Neuvillette, Mavuika, Arlecchino, Varessa, Alhaitham, Kinich, Navia, Xiao, Chlorand. Okay, these are highest. And then Raiden's right here, Mulani's here, Chaska's right here, Linny's here, Hu Tao. Yamiko, would we count as a main DPS? I guess so. Ayato, Child, Risley, Ito, Ayaka, Wanderer, Sino, Kaching, Yomiya, Ganyu, Eula, Diluc. We're saying like main DPS. Klee is right here. Yeah, that's about it. Cryo not getting a love for Hoyo. This character right here, she's Cryo. Apparently she's going to be really good according to the leaks. And Skirk is coming out soon. She's rumored to be Cryo, and from what I'm seeing, like it looks like she's going to be pretty good. Wonder if I should attempt to pull for Xilonen, just like her roller skates. Xilonen's really good. Like she's probably one of the most universally useful characters. Like she's pretty much like Kazuha when it comes to like deep like stats that she provides. Except instead of like crowd controlling and good personal damage, and yeah, she has healing instead, but she also has like longer buff up time as well. Slightly more. Skark already? Yeah, she's rumored to be coming out soon, or I'm pretty sure, because like in I think it was the anniversary live stream, they showcased like a bunch of silhouettes for some of the characters that are coming out, and it was believed that one of the silhouettes was going to be Skirk. So it looked like. And apparently there are already leaks for what her kit's going to be, and it's going to be very freeze oriented. Same thing with this character as well, Scoffier, or Scoffier, whatever you call her name. But yeah, I'm surprised that Skirk's going to be like playable very soon. If it's true. Obviously. Gotta get grinding then. It's not gonna be next patch, but it'll probably be the patch after. So I'm definitely gonna save as well. I have to, cause I cannot. I want to get Skirk. Cause Skirk is just such a cool character. Oh, another thing too is like there's a cryo set right now that no one can really use. So it looks so much. The set looks so much like Skirk as well, like aesthetic wise. Remember when Skirk wasn't even revealed yet? Mm-hmm. Genshin's definitely came a long way. Have Fontaine and Natlan to grind, so I'll definitely have enough. Yes, sir. But yeah, Skirk is on the way right now, so who knows if it's going to be like the patch after next patch. Honestly, I feel like it's crazy that they released like more cryo characters and pyro characters in Natlan, especially since Natlan is the region for pyro. Wait, Mavika, is she the only pyro character that came out for Natlan? Wait. Yeah, Mavika, Xilonen, Sitlali, Varesa, Kanich, Yansan, Auroron, Mulani, Chaska, Kachin. Yeah, Mavika's the only pyro character that came out during that. Wait, that's crazy. It's a lot less than I thought there was. Yeah, and it's the Archon as well. Playable Danes left one. It's probably gonna be years. It's probably gonna be like at least a year from now, honestly. Ironic, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Only one pyro character. And even with Fontaine too, we only had like, I'm pretty sure we only had like 2 Hydro characters that came out with Fontaine, but they're both really strong. You know what's funny? The first limited characters that came out, the first one for Natlan was a Hydro character, the first one for Fontaine was a Pyro character. It's pretty funny. Expected most of the characters to be Pyro, not gonna lie. That's what I thought too. I mean, they did release a lot of Pyro characters before Natlan came out, to be fair. They did release Arlecchino. They did release Chevy. Linny, Gaming. What other Pyro characters did they release? They did, yeah, but they did release a lot of Pyro characters before Natlan came out. So it kind of makes sense, I guess. Bennett to this day is still the only Pyro sword. We have Pyro Traveler now, so not really. Pyro Traveler. Who else? Yeah, I think that's about it. But like Pyro Traveler's kind of, Pyro Traveler's okay. What else? Yeah, I think that's about it. We could probably just call it here, honestly. Hydro Claymore again? When? Honestly, I don't even know. I thought Ayato would be a Hydro Claymore, but he wasn't. I mean, we now have an Archon that uses every kind of weapon type, so.
Traveler's a side character at this point. They butchered his freedom of speech.
Yeah. I wish they made the Traveler like so much more useful. Like in Star Rail as well. Star Rail, the main character in Star Rail is just so much more useful
compared to Genshin.
So no Hydro Claymore is crazy. Yeah, it took a while for us to also get like a Cryo Claymore, or sorry, no, a Catalyst. I mean. But that was, yeah, it's just past that at this point. Electro Traveler's the worst. It's debatable because like a lot of them are just terrible. Like aside from Pyro and Dendro, the other Travelers are just kind of terrible. But yeah, I think we'll call it here, guys. What do you guys think? I think this is a decent tier list, right?
I think it's ridiculous a character has meant to be a battery required a battery themselves.
Oh, Electro Traveler. Oh yeah, yeah. That's what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, this is fun. I like it. Next time we'll probably just do a Star Rail tier list, honestly. Cause I haven't done one for Star Rail, but I've done like a few for Genshin. But the last time I did a Genshin one was like years ago, like when Sumeru was still releasing, and like we still had like most of Sumeru to go through. We had Fontaine and Natlan to go through, and we're still going through Natlan right now. So it's been like 2 years since I did my last one.
Sorry for not joining your streams. Been busy with a ton of life, going to college.
I feel that, bro. It happens. It's all good. But yeah, anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Sub and like if you haven't, it's always greatly appreciated. Next time, I guess we'll just do a Star Rail tier list if you guys are interested. But yeah, if you guys want to keep checking out my channel, just sub and like if you haven't, it's always greatly appreciated. Yeah, have a good night and day wherever you're at. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace and take care. I'll see you guys next time. See you then. Peace. Peace, peace, peace.